This is episode 186 of the Double Cross Anime Podcast. I'm Whooper, and here's Mario.
Hey everyone, how are you?
We are back to talk about, what is it, summer 2025 anime?
Mm-hmm.
Three of them. In fact, the exact same three that were on the thumbnail of our First Impressions episode from this season. It's Panty Stocking,
Mm-hmm.
The Summer Hikaru Died, and Takopi's Original Sin. I think there
Yeah.
were probably some other good candidates from this season. It didn't necessarily have to be those three, but that's just the way it shook out. And thinking back on the shows that we talked about it for winter and spring, I think this group of three is probably the best that we've gotten from this year so far. Just off rip.
Well, I agree, and I agree with that. And I also would like to say that it is an a season where the three shows that we pick as somewhat like the genre shows, not like the original drama or like action shows. Well, I would say Panty Stocking is action oriented, but it's also a lot of comedy as well.
Yeah, I'd say it's primarily
And
a comedy. Like
yeah,
whenever there's an action scene, how ridiculous and over the top and hectic it is comedic. Plus,
and the other two
there's all the
shows are
parodies and
horrors.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Takopi's Original Sin. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could call that horror. Um, there are definitely horrifying things about it.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
not really trying to scare
Um.
you though, so much as it is
I'm.
trying to, uh, toy with you, like mess with your
Yeah.
emotions.
Yeah.
I would say I'm pretty successful at that.
I agree. I just feel like I'm great to just think about it, and I don't know if I want to watch it again sometime soon. But it's really well done.
Yeah, yeah. It is hard to watch, um, but I enjoyed it. As I did,
Right.
Panty and Stocking and The Summer Hikaru Died. So we're spoiled for choice
Mm-hmm.
here, but we do have to pick one to talk about first. So
All
which one
right.
do you think that ought to be?
Let's go with Takopi since we already teased a bit about the show.
Okay, let's see if I can find my notes on Takopi's Original Sin. There they are. They're not great because I combined a couple of the episodes into one block.
Mm-hmm.
They're episodes 5 and 6 of the show are what I watched most recently, like right before we started recording.
Right.
So they're fresh in my memory, but I don't have a lot of thoughts down about them. Um, Mostly my thoughts are that it was really sad.
It is even though it actually have a happy ending, like it's like the best possible outcome that uh that the show uh would put, like after all the shit that happening.
Yeah, I mean, very dead demon in that sense.
Yeah.
Takopi
Yeah, for
creates
sure.
a new future, kind of jumping to another timeline after the the other times that he failed, essentially, to create a happy outcome for Marina and Shizuka.
Yep.
In the same way that what's her face's dad. What were the characters in that? Was her name Kaide or something?
Kaide, that's ring a bell. Yes.
Whatever the glasses girl. No, it's Ontan was the girl with the twin tails, and then maybe it was Kaede.
uh yeah.
Her father, the manga editor. He's the one who created the new future in Dead Demon. But anyway, um, yeah, Takopi. Boy, I really liked.
I do.
I really liked the fact that it wasn't just centered on Shizuka and Marina-chan. It also brought Azuma into the mix, and we knew that was going to happen based on the
Mm,
opening theme and the fact that the show kind of hints at his eventual prominence in the first episode. But he
Yeah.
he kind of got an episode, a starring episode as well, episode
Hmm.
4.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh boy, like with each different episodes, we see how like how this would sink even deeper. Like after episode one, I still feel that like there is some hope left, and then after episode two, I was just like, oh my god, that
There's no
shit
hope.
just hit the fan. Yeah.
There never was.
Yeah, so I actually think that comparison to Dead Demons in a sense is actually pretty apt because there's a lot of things that in common between the two shows. Especially there is characters that clearly inspired by Doraemon.
Yeah, an
And
alien with a bunch of
uh,
gadgets.
yeah, try the best to help people, but there is some really dark undercurrent that go beyond that.
Yeah. Yeah, Shizuka, being bullied and beaten is one
Hmm.
thing. But, when Marina like schemes to get the dog to bite her so that it'll be put
Hmm.
down, um, that's like, the stereotypical reaction that people have sometimes to violence, where if they see violence against a human being, they're like, "Oh, that's terrible." When they see violence against an
Hmm.
animal, they're like, "I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna,
Yeah.
I'm I'm gonna take matters in my own hands. I'm going full vigilante Batman mode. I'm killing whoever whoever hurt that doggo."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, I guess the author of Takopi knows that people are like that, and so trying to hit below the belt, um, Chappie got taken away, and not to
Yep.
Shizuka's father's apartment in Tokyo,
Hmm.
unless he truly
Yep.
was in the stomachs of his new family there.
Yep.
That was
Oh,
crazy.
that
She's
was crazy.
Shizuka being so far gone that she was like trying to reason to herself, "Oh, well, if Chappie's not here, then he must be inside their stomachs. They must have eaten him."
Yep.
And did you catch? Was it episode 5 or 6?
Hmm.
Whichever one had like the kind of the time skip with the newspapers that came
Yep.
up on screen saying two girls missing, mother suspected, or something like that. Do you remember
All
this?
right. No, I did. I didn't catch that. Like it. I remember the newspaper. I didn't really read into it.
Oh, well, I watched
Hmm.
episodes 5 and 6, like jumped straight from one to the other, so I don't know which episode that where we saw those newspapers to kind of bridge the gap between Takopi getting attacked by Shizuka in Tokyo and him
Hmm.
like waking up from, I guess, the memories that he recalled
Hmm.
and
Yep.
traveling
Yep.
back to their hometown. So maybe it was episode 6 when that newspaper came up on screen. But anyway, it said like two girls missing, and the implication is that it's the two, her father's new family, his two daughters.
Hmm. Wow.
So Shizuka likely killed
Yep.
them.
Oof. I mean, like the show really done a really good job to to get us care about Shizuka for the first two episodes. Just like we just wish for her to get away from all the abusive thing that she experienced by Marina, and then when that happened, we just we just eventually learn how broken she already is.
Yeah.
She doesn't feel any compassionate for she doesn't really concern at all about Maria's death. She tried to use Azuma and Takopi, and all in her mind is just to see the dog.
Yeah. Well, we see, we not only do we see her relationship with Chappie in the present day in the early episodes, but there are also flashbacks to her, playing with Chappie, hugging Chappie, sleeping next to him.
Hmm.
because he is her only friend and only source of comfort in her miserable life.
Mhm.
So that's what breaks her, is when the one good thing that she has is taken away.
Yeah.
Um, and but you realize by the end she also had Takopi as well.
Mm.
Even when
Yeah.
Chappie was gone, Takopi was still on her side. And even after Takopi regained his memories, or her memories, or its memories, I don't know what gender. If
Takopi is.
Happy Seijins, aliens from planet Happy, if they even have a gender. I guess I'll just say
Mhm.
him. I don't know.
Yeah.
Uh, Even when Chappie was gone, and even after Takopi regained his memories of, um, his original partnership with Marina, and how like frightening Shizuka was in that future in 2022.
Mhm.
Um, he still wanted to see her smile. He expresses that to Azuma, I think, near the start of episode 6.
Mhm.
He's like
Yeah.
lamenting the fact that he is so stupid. He
Mhm.
he keeps saying, "I'm like, why am I so stupid and bad? Why do I want to see Shizuka smile, even though she's the one who hurt uh, Marina?"
Mhm.
So even when Chappie had gone, like even when after he had been put down, most likely, um, Shizuka had Takopi, and the
Yeah.
the scenes of them like walking around the city, their town, after they'd
Mhm.
been reunited, and using that 500-cent coin that was taped inside the secret notebook,
Yeah.
use only in case of emergency. They used it to buy some bread. Call back to the
Yeah.
first episode where she fed Takopi some bread
Mhm.
at the start of
Yeah.
their friendship. It's just so sad.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh well. Um. Yep. I just want to mention the fact that in the first episode when we discuss about this show in the first impression, we mentioned a bit about the Takopi original scene, and yeah, I think now we learn that his original scene is actually that he was in the first timeline with Marina, and that he tried to go back in time to kill Shizuka without realizing that how bad that would be, or like without really considering about the consequences of all of this.
Yeah, that's why he loses his memories, is because his mother on Planet
Mhm.
Happy, um, it
Isn't too happy.
yeah, she's not too happy with him. Um,
Yeah.
so that you can tell. I mean, the show is about mother issues all the way down.
Mm. Yeah.
Shizuka
Yeah.
has
Yeah.
them, Marina has them, Azuma has them, and so does Takopi.
Wow. Hmm. Yeah.
So you can only imagine what kind of issues the person has who wrote this manga.
Well, yeah. I don't think I yeah. Well, if we frame that though, I don't think the show actually kind of address that at all, right?
You don't think what?
Like any of the characters address their mother issues in this show. They have issues, but they live with that. Even like at the end with the results where like uh the two girls grow up being friends, they still have mommy issues.
Yes. Yeah. You're talking about like that scene where the two of them are in a shop together, and it's
Yeah,
it's this
yeah.
it's the new version of 2022 that Takopi created through his self-sacrifice,
Hmm.
and Marina still has the scars on her chin or her cheek,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
meaning she was still attacked by her mother.
Yeah.
Um, yes, and in response to Marina saying, "Oh, I can't remember what she says to Shizuka exactly in that future. She says something like, "I've got to cook for her," or "I want to buy this for her because she's having a hard time."
Mm,
Um,
mm,
and Shizuka's response is, "Well, she's always having a hard time," kind of sarcastically. Marina
mm.
replies, "Whose fault is that?" and kicks at her foot.
Yeah, yeah.
The implication being Shizuka's
It's
mom
still
has
happen the same.
still is still responsible in this future for having broken up Marina's parents,
Yeah, yeah,
or at least that's the way that Marina sees it. Um, so yes, it's nothing is resolved. Um, but I think I like it better that way, honestly.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
this is a very bleak show. If the reality that Takopi created were to be completely perfect and everyone were to have like a truly happy and like worry free ending, I think that would be a major betrayal.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree with that. And even me, like here saying that this is a good show, and I still think that the ending was a bit too happy ending for this kind of show. If you know what I mean. So even though I feel that is a bit too pinky,
I don't really agree.
right,
I think I was probably desperate, like mentally, for some sort of relief.
right.
So that's
Mm.
probably why I liked it. There was a little glimmer of hope. You know, I mean, really rare is the anime that is just leaves you with no hope at all at the end. I can't think of too many.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
you know the one that's
isn't
jumping to my mind right now.
yeah, yeah, I would have mentioned that, but well, yeah,
But I'm
yep,
like even Sunny Boy has kind of a happy ending to it.
right, yep.
It's
I
it's
consider
really
that,
just Evangelion where
yep,
it's
and I think because of that though, that they have to make a rebuild the whole, the whole other version of you know of the same show.
oh you're talking
So
in regards to Takopi.
in regard to
Oh,
Evangelion,
right.
where like
3.0 plus
they have
1.0.
a yeah, yeah, yeah,
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, can you think of any other anime that have just like completely bleak endings?
I think that the two you just mentioned came to mind. And I think maybe that is one of the reason why people react very strongly to these shows. Then they either really love it or hate it.
Oh, you know what? It just came into my mind. Berserk.
Right.
If you
Yeah.
only watched
Yeah.
the 1997 version, just the Golden Age arc,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
a hell of a conclusion.
Yeah. And I would say like some of Asano manga stuff would fall into uh the same type as well.
Yeah.
So we Poon Poon.
Well, we read Poon Poon together and discussed it. To be honest, there's I've forgotten almost all of it. Um,
Really? All
yeah,
right.
but I'm
The ending
sure that
though,
it was that the ending was like brutal.
brutal. Yeah. All right.
I forget it though.
You forget it. All right. Good on you. I don't think I would forget the ending of Pun Pun anytime soon.
The benefits of
All
having
right.
a poor memory, I suppose. But that just means that when I rewatch stuff, it's like it's fresh for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh.
We got off topic.
Yeah. I would just like to say that out of the three characters, Azuma, as you mentioned, is the one who, like, even though he's not directly involved into this, into the heart of this, I actually like his episodes, kind of the most because he's the most relatable out of like the three. He broken in a way, but not that broken to the point like Shizuka where um like she doesn't feel for anything at all. but we can see why he wanted um to make everything work, and like because he the brain behind all this, he feel he think much more, and he afraid much more than this other two.
Yeah, I also liked his episode the best. Episode 4. I thought it was
Hmm.
amazing.
Yeah,
Um, the scene where his brother, uh, you know, talks to him in the hallway
reviews.
because he's planning to,
Yeah,
I can't remember what he's planning to do. Is he planning to go confess, like turn himself? Oh yes, he's planning to go along with
yep, yep,
Shizuka's
yep,
idea to turn himself
yep,
in and take the blame for
yep.
Marina's death.
Oh
Um,
God.
but yeah, the scene with the brother where you get the contrast between what Azuma thinks his brother is going to say to him.
Mm,
Like he assumes that his brother
yep.
is judging him and suspects him of being involved in Marina's disappearance or death. Um, you get the contrast between that and what actually happens, which is that his brother like reaches out to him, perhaps even truly suspecting that he had was involved. He still
Mm.
um, wants to like what am I trying to say? My head is so
To
foggy.
be.
He still wants to like accept his younger brother and listen to him with open
Yep,
ears and
yep.
make sure that he doesn't feel hopeless because that's what he says. That's what
Right.
Azuma says. Nobody's interested in me. Nobody believes in me.
Yep.
And the terrible thing is, if not for his brother, that would be true. He has
Right.
no friends at school. Um,
Yeah. Everyone use him. Even like Shizuka, the one that he like trying the best to please her. Actually, like just kind of very cold against him.
yeah, when she
Uh,
feels as though
try
he's not
to.
gonna do whatever she asks, she like turns
Yeah.
on him on a dime. And his
Oh my
mom
goodness.
won't even give him some damn pancakes when he gets an
Yeah.
A, when he
Right.
gets straight
I.
A's.
Yeah. 95, not 100%.
Yeah, so that's what's so that's why I think that's part of why that the way that episode ends is so powerful is because Azuma,
Right.
even though it's kind of crazy that he would like look at Shizuko with those hard eyes, I think we get an
Mm-hmm.
explanation later that she has double-lidded eyes the same way that his mom does.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's
Yep.
part
Yep.
of
Yep.
why he's like drawn to her.
Yeah.
Um, if not,
Mommy issues again.
if not for um, if not for his brother, he would be justified in thinking that no one in the world loves him or cares about him.
Yeah.
And so his brother saves him from the same
Right.
fate as
And
Shizuka and Marina.
yeah, and his review actually, that that was his girlfriend who's happy for the test, and that her their mom's cooking is not that good anyway. Actually, really good reviews for me. Like everything that he yearned for, it actually not that worth it.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
it's a
cool.
pretty good episode.
It is a
Yeah.
good episode, and the way that the connection between the two brothers and the grandiosity of Junya's attempt to save him is represented with like all those multicolored stars that kind of like
Hmm.
are shooting through the like kind of a black background, and they all come together as one, and then they're reflected in Junya's eyes, and then you see them kind of transfer to Azuma's eyes as well. So that when he
Hmm.
reunites with Takopi in episode 6, rather than the hearts in his eyes that he had when speaking with Shizuka under her influence, he instead had a blue star, which kind of
Hmm.
became his own symbol, distinct from the multicolored stars that Junya had kind of helped him to see. It's a
Hmm.
really
Yeah.
cool visual device.
Yeah. Yep. And then we get into episode 5 where we actually learn about, like the original story where, like we see about the teenage Marina, and she just doesn't, she's so down on her luck, just doesn't get a, anything she wants at all.
Yeah, including
Oh,
Junya.
yep, yep.
At first, I wasn't sure, like, I wasn't paying too much attention to the episode titles, which are in episode one. Episode one's episode title has something to do with the year 2016, and then episode five's
Mhm.
title, To You in 2022. Um,
Right.
so that's how you can easily grasp that it is a 6 year time skip, or what we
Mhm.
see is actually 6 years in the past for most of the show. And Takopi's memories that come
Yep.
back are of, in his mind, the present day, or
Right.
his original time on Earth. Um,
Yep.
but yeah, that's
I love I love the fact that apart from Panty and Stocking, the second season, the two shows that we watch, Takopi's and the summer Hikaru die, it's actually very specific about the time frame, and it's very recent as well. So this one is 2022 and 2016, and I think Hikaru is happened somewhere around 2020.
yeah. There's in maybe in episode 12, in the last episode of the first
Yeah,
season,
yeah,
because
yeah.
there was just an announcement that it got renewed for season two.
Oh, right.
Um,
Yeah.
they go to an
Not.
assembly that Hikaru skips, but Yoshiki attends.
Mhm,
And the principal, when he's giving his address to the students, says, "You've just finished your first semester of 2020."
mhm. Yeah.
I don't think it matters as
Even
much, though, the actual year that show takes
right.
place in. I
Yeah.
don't know. Maybe it will, but I doubt they're going to introduce
Maybe.
COVID or anything like that, like
Yeah.
they did
I think
in
that.
Takopi.
Yeah. I think that's why they specifically say 2020, maybe the time before the COVID break happening in Japan. Maybe.
Maybe.
But like you said, maybe it will.
Yeah, maybe I cursed the show somehow retroactively, and I'm editing the material in the manga as we speak. Maybe I'm writing a new
Yeah.
timeline, Takopi style. So what happens in the actual timeline of Takopi is that he comes to Earth in 2022. Everything that he remembers happens, and then when he gets in after Shizuka has killed her mother in self-defense, or I'm sorry, after Marina has killed her mother in self-defense, um,
Mhm.
he gets the idea to go back in time and kill Shizuka. But why didn't he just use the happy camera to go back?
Well,
Why did he have to return to his
I
home
think
planet and like talk to his mother and stuff?
yeah, I think he needs some kind of approval from them up first before he can do that. But I like the fact that I think in episode 3 or 2 before that they actually mentioned about the rocket, that time machine rocket or something, that he mentioned about that, and so that would be in episode 3 because they cannot go back in time anymore. uh
Right. He
and
thinks to himself, "Huh? Why can't I go back?"
yeah,
Indicating that parts of his memory are missing. I do remember that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think he did mention about the rocket time machine as well, uh, and one of the characters just say like, "Why don't you use it now?" And he was like, "Yeah, yeah, I don't know where that is, or something along that line,
Oh,
because he must have used it before. He have used it already."
okay. I don't remember that exact um,
Yeah, I
conversation, I
remember that
guess.
from a line. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, well, he can't return. I think the rocket was just like his way of getting back home. I didn't think it was a time travel device
I
because it's the
think it
happy camera that lets him travel through time.
Yeah, well, I think it worked exactly the same with Doraemon. Like go back to the timeline. Now uh, uh, now the drawers, the table drawers. If you watch some of Doraemon, you would know that. So I think this kind of that worked the same way.
What does Doraemon use to go back in time?
Yeah, so there is a drawer in the in an in Nobita
Are you saying drawer?
desk. Yeah.
Oh,
So they go under the drawer.
huh.
They go, yeah, and there would be like a time machine there where they can go back in time.
Gotcha. Huh.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I'm sure it's a reference to it.
hmm.
Doraemon is, ingrained in the psyches of Japanese children,
uh,
probably
yeah,
multiple generations of them.
yeah, I agree. Like even me, like I grew up with Doraemon's or of his gadgets, so I can see why. Like people in the generation just take that as a reference and just like pull uh put a spin behind that.
Well, I thought this was a pretty good spin.
I agree.
I every episode was getting me to was giving me goosebumps or making me tear up. Um, but at
Mhm.
the end of every single one, I was like, wow, that was really good. I
Yeah.
wasn't thinking about what kind of notes I was going to write or what screen caps I should take. I was just, invested in it. And you know, that used to be
It,
like once upon a time, that was the way that I watched anime. I was just like, whoa, this is so cool. And I wasn't thinking about anything else while I was
mhm.
watching it. Now, most of the time, I'm kind of like studying it.
Yeah.
But
I do feel that the length, so it's just episode length, just work out really well because like after one, like after each single episode, there is something new, something like profoundly uh significant that happened that like would change the course of the direction of the shows.
right. Yeah. Marina's death at the end of episode 2, her
Yeah,
corpse being uncovered at the end of episode 3 due to the geological
yeah,
survey. Um,
yeah,
the Azuma's salvation, I guess, at the end of episode 4,
yeah,
and
yeah.
the fact that they're about to travel to Tokyo as well.
Mm.
And then how does episode 5 end? I can't remember. It ends with
I
Takopi
think
having returned to their town and resolved to kill Shizuka or something,
yeah,
right? Or
yeah, that's
maybe
correct.
maybe she thinks that at the very start of episode 6. I think it's at the end of episode 5. Yeah, boy.
Yeah, what a ride, right?
Yeah. I mean, you said it. It really like the short length really does help it. There's no, and that's the plot always feels like it's moving forward, even though it's such a character focused series. Even though there are so many
Yeah.
flashbacks and
Mm.
shots of dysfunction within families and abuse and violence.
Oh my
Still,
God.
there's
Yeah.
always, you know, the story is always moving forward.
Yeah. Talking about violence, like all the abuse, it actually very well done as well. So they never really go over the top, but it's always grow under our skin.
Yeah, it's hard.
So
Yeah,
I
it's hard
think
to
I
watch,
think
but there's not, and there are some shots with a lot of blood in them, but you don't actually see the blood like gushing out of anybody,
yeah,
or
yeah,
when somebody gets kicked or punched, um, the show might pull back, take a different angle at it.
mm, yeah,
So even though you feel terrible about what you're watching, you don't feel like you're being abused yourself.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh
Just
God, and
emotionally abused, maybe.
yeah, and Takopi, he's just out of touch of everything. I think it's integrated very well to the story as well. Like he never really feel outplaced, even though he is technically outplaced. And yeah, so I just feel that everything the show tried to make it just work really well.
Yeah, the soundtrack, the music that's used whenever Takopi is like being his silly little unhelpful oblivious self. There, it's like
Yeah.
it's real bright. Sometimes it even kind of sounds like circus music. Um,
Hmm.
it's it may I mean Takopi's point of view is that of a child. I think
Hmm.
somebody who doesn't understand what abuse looks like because he's from
Yeah.
Planet
Well.
Happy. And I mean, there are scenes where he'll see Marina talking with her mom, and her mom's
Yeah.
like yelling at her or insulting her or hitting her, and Takopi's like, "Oh, they're having such a lively discussion." Then later he'll turn
Yeah.
around and have a conversation with Marina, like, "Oh, I see. So you're just practicing to be a mother yourself. That's why you're always rough with me, just like your mom is always hitting you." Like
Yeah.
he's just, uh,
Yeah.
he's just such an idiot.
And it.
The
Yeah.
everyone in the show who calls him an idiot, they're not wrong.
Yeah. And even to the fact that like he tried to defend uh his friend Shizuka at first, and then he actually accidentally killed Marina. He had no remorse about that at all. So he feel the way sometimes, but then he was so happy go lucky that like just enjoy the time with Shizuka, spending the time with Shizuka and Azuma.
Yeah, yeah. And it's not
Nothing
until
happened.
he pretends to be Marina and experiences what she had to experience, in her home life,
Hmm. Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
that he begins to think to himself and express to Shizuka and Azuma, maybe we should confess.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's interesting that you know, you, it perhaps his memories of having been friends with Marina in 2022 were starting to come back even at that time. Maybe his
Right.
empathy for Marina wasn't just a result of, seeing the way that her mother treats her and the dysfunction between her mother and her father. Maybe as he was pretending to be Marina, he was also starting to remember his relationship with Marina.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so true. So yep, a really good show. I think we can jump to another show now that we talk like 40 minutes of this show. You
Sure.
do you have any other notes that you want to talk about this show first?
I actually have a bunch, but I have other outlets for it. I'm sure, you know, if we do an anime of the year post on Starcross, this show will probably be, you know, I don't
Yeah.
know that it'll win first place or anything, but I'll probably have a bit to write about it, so I can save some of my thoughts for that.
Sound good to me. I think we're gonna talk more about this show, yeah, by the end,
Oh, true. We've got our own anime of
by
the
the end
year
of the
thing as
season.
well.
Yeah, yeah. So yep. Till then, I suppose.
Yes. Until then, not far
All right.
off. Just like 3.5 months or something.
All right. How about Summer Hikaru Dai as next?
All right. So this one might be a little tricky for me. This is one that I have been watching
Mhm.
more or less as it comes out.
Right.
So
Yeah.
over the past couple days, I watched the last 4 episodes, but
Yep.
prior to that, I was watching kind of weekly. So we'll see how I do here.
Yeah. All right. I would say that I can start first by saying that this show, that at when we finished the first episode of the show, we kind of uh compared this show to Summertime Rendering.
Yes.
I I'm really happy to say that wasn't the case. There is some similarities, but as a whole, the vibe that the show get is vastly different from that show. So there are two very distinct. So
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, honestly, I would probably, if I were just talking to a general anime fan, I would probably recommend that if someone were a fan of one, they should check out the other. I think
Right.
summertime rendering kind of lost its way as it went on. Not that it had a problem from the very start. Um,
Right.
but yeah, they're different. Um, because in
This one
summertime
they
rendering,
really
the I don't know, what are they? Spirits, aliens. Uh,
um
they're
good
just like
question.
clearly evil. You know, they're just the
Right.
enemy that
Yeah.
must be defeated. Whereas in this show, the combination of Hikaru's memories and Nonoki-sama's, evolving personality as a human being creates something a lot more
Hmm.
interesting.
Yeah. 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 I agree with you on that. And I think this show is also really pretty much interested in the characters themselves. Like they really interested in depicting how Hikaru's involved as a being who actually can feel and act like human now. And Yoshiki, uh, his his inner thought about like how this new person like just the pass away of his dear friend, and this one as a replacement as well. So they much more focus about that, along with like going through some of the mystery things, mysteries behind the village.
Right. Yeah, that there were like five villages and they're
Yeah.
arranged in the shape of a body, and
Oh, yeah.
different body parts were buried in different villages except for the heads.
Yeah.
Um, I'll be honest, some of the like research episodes towards the end of
Hmm.
these 12, I was kind of interested, I guess, in the lore behind
Yeah.
it, but
Yeah.
it was the weakest part of the show for me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I agree with you.
And that was kind of a shame. Um, and it's made worse, I suppose, or the problem is kind of exacerbated by the fact that episode 7 is such a major climax. That's the one where Yoshiki attempts to kill Hikaru. Um,
Oh, all right. Yep.
because episode 6 is the one where they have the kids have the sleepover. Um, and Yoshiki catches Hikaru like reaching out to try to, I don't know, kill what is her name? Asako?
Asako.
Yeah,
Yep.
to kill her or to like snatch her soul or whatever. And that really has a major effect on him, and so he decides, I think, using that incident as his primary motivator, to kill his best friend, or whoever or whatever is possessing his best friend. After that is resolved, and I mean that episode was great. Episode 7, where he makes that attempt on Hikaru's life, was awesome. Um, but
I actually have some issue with that episode in particular, but finish your thought
oh, okay,
and
yeah, that would be interesting to talk about then. Um,
yeah.
After the show hits that climax and then starts to come back down, it does seem to shift into another phase where it's about
Hmm.
where Yoshiki's like, well, I can't kill him, so I might as well join him. Time to learn what I
Yeah.
can, about
Yeah.
whoever this is that's inhabiting my friend's corpse, and see
Mhm.
what can be done about this, if anything. Um, so it's a big change, I think, in the show, and I didn't appreciate every aspect of that change.
Right.
So
I actually
what's going on with
yeah.
you're not liking episode
I
7 so much?
I just feel like when at the start of the show we see this Hikaru person as a he's not human. So the story itself is mostly from the point of view of Yoshiki. But when they want to make this episode happen, like when Yoshiki decided to to stab or kill Hikaru, this version of Hikaru, it actually shifted the perspective so that Yoshiki is the one who like who always mysterious. You don't know what he thinking. Uh, and we from the point of view of Hikaru's. who's like just go behind him and also wondering what Yoshiki have in mind. So that shift in perspective doesn't really move well to me. I think I can understand why they do that, but by having Hikaru as a as a point of view, we can hear his thought over in this episode as well. Uh, we actually try to humanize him in a way, so I think after that episode, I don't feel him as scary anymore. I think that might be the show intention as well, but it's just that like he not someone of foreign anymore, and it's shipped to Yoshiki. So I agree with you that after the episode, like the dynamic ship and even like the story itself shift a little bit as well. I do appreciate what happened after that. For this episode alone, that shift in perspective doesn't really work well to me.
Hmm. Well, I see. I have to imagine that the reason it was done is just to like preserve the element of surprise, you know.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. I
Um,
also feel that.
so I
I
I
also
can I can under like you I can understand why it was done. Um,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I really have an issue with that
Any issue with
so
that?
much.
Yeah.
It perhaps I mean it's a little bit protracted. It's a little drawn out
Mm,
before we actually see Hikaru or rather Yoshiki make the attempt on his life because
right.
the there's the choral performance, the chorus of students because they skip on that day.
Yep.
They
Yep.
skip
Yep.
school because Yoshiki wants to take him out and have like the best day ever with him before killing him, like grant him a
Mm,
merciful death, essentially.
yep. Yep.
Um, we get the choral performance where you see the students singing, and there's also cuts away to other characters like Yoshiki's mother and sister, and his father, and the two boys as well. And you think, I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm just conditioned to believe this from having watched a bunch of like film and TV, but you would assume that by the time they get to the end of the song, that's when Yoshiki would try to kill him. But that's not how it happens. Instead, they get to the end of the song and then they have a little conversation about going to see the ocean someday. And then I think it
Right.
cuts to the eye catch, the commercial break. Then it comes back and they go to, I think, Hikaru's house. Or is it Yoshiki's house?
Right. Yep. Yoshiki House.
Yes. No one's there because his family members are out doing stuff. Um,
Yep.
so as a result, it kind of feels a little drawn out. And by that point, you know, you already understand what's happening, like
Yep.
why Yoshiki has skipped school and why he's going through all these extra steps. Um, is because he intends to, I don't know, kill Hikaru and like save everybody. Do it for the greater
I
good, I guess.
Yeah, I do think that he also intend to kill himself as well after that
Oh,
because
you
the
think
way
so?
that he talked, yeah, the way that he talked to his mom, like everyone take care, all that
Right. Yeah.
suggests that you know, it,
Yeah. He does
well,
make that phone call and he tells his mom to like relay a message to his dad on his
yeah,
behalf. Right. Yeah, I guess he was planning a murder suicide.
um,
Or maybe he was just I mean, the way I interpreted it originally was he was doing that just in case he failed
right,
and Hikaru ended up like swallowing him or something.
yeah,
But he
that makes
could have
sense.
been planning to kill himself too.
Um, Now that I know that there is a second season coming, I didn't know that whether this is a one core or two core until I watched the episode 12 and nothing have resolved.
Yeah.
So I do feel that the first core, the 12 episode that we watch, it's good. It's solid in general. It's a bit pat out for me. I think if they condense this to like 9 episodes instead of 12, it should work a little bit better.
If they
Do
what?
you think I'm not too sure if they just condense the material into 9 episodes instead of 12.
Well, I mean, we can't all be Takopi's original sin here. We can't all
Yeah,
just have like a perfect little run.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Some condensation, some condensing could have been helpful, I suppose. But I never felt as though
Because
the show was like really wasting my time. You know, I didn't all
right,
the like
yeah,
visits to the library to see Mrs. Matsuda's daughter, for example, the daughter of
yeah,
the old
yeah, yeah,
woman that Hikaru seemingly killed early on.
yeah,
I mean that wasn't one of my favorites, but it was fine. A lot of the scenes between Tanaka, the guy with the hamster and the sunglasses, who works for
yeah.
this mysterious
An
company.
organization. Yeah,
A lot of the scenes with him, like talking to kind of the middle-aged village elders. Not all of those were very exciting to me, but I don't think any of them were necessarily a waste. I don't know. I think the relationship between the two boys was strong enough to keep all that other stuff afloat.
yeah,
And
yeah.
also, not just the two of them, but also their classmates, I thought were very well characterized. Like
Right. Yeah, yeah.
the
I agree.
sleepover episode, episode 6, where they all like light fireworks together, and the other male student who's got the shaved head and ends up with his arm in a sling, and is like ejected from the baseball team for fighting or something. Eventually, you know who I'm
Yeah,
talking about?
yeah. He's the one who always serve as like the comedy one, the one
Yeah,
who like yeah,
yeah. I think he's one of the
like
better comic relief kind of like side characters that I've seen recently. He can actually be pretty funny.
right,
Oh, you didn't like him?
right. No, I just feel like the comedy in the show doesn't really work to me. But yeah, well,
I like little things like him speaking in English phrases, and then
yeah,
another character being like, "Wow, his English is actually kind of good." Uh, or him doing that little rap. I really like the little rap
yeah,
at the
yeah,
start, towards the
yeah,
start of
yeah,
episode 7, where he's holding the glow stick.
yeah,
Um, I think he's just like a fun little class clown character. I think it's nice that Yoshiki and Hikaru are not just like turbo loners who only
yeah.
are friends with each other and don't care
What?
about anyone else.
Yeah, was he actually the same one who go past the forest in the first few episodes, and then he asked everyone to go with him to go to the forest?
I remember something like that from the early episodes.
Yeah,
I don't remember the specifics, but yeah, I guess that was him. And that's
yeah,
also around the time that we learn that Asako also has like spiritual sensitivity. She knows that something is
yeah,
up with Hikaru, and
yeah,
she's the one to confront him about it in episode 12.
yeah. He actually, she actually confronted him before, but
Right.
she kind of forget about that, and she just think that Hikaru getting possessed,
Yeah.
not that the old Hikaru has died, and this is a new version.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah, she got her own little flashback about her and her relationship with her grandmother, who was also like a spirit medium, the same way that
yeah,
Kurabayashi-san, the housewife,
yeah,
um,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
is a spirit medium.
I, yeah, like you said, I actually kind of like these characters as well in the way that they have very specific abilities, and we can totally see that as well. Like the way that she says she first realized about Hikaru because his voice changed, and we can see the depiction of that. And yeah,
That his voice
it just
changes?
yeah, his voice changed it. I mean, like no one else can actually hear it, but she can hear that his voice has been distorted
Okay,
from her perspective.
gotcha. Most of what I
Yeah,
remember about her like perception of Hikaru is visual. Um, like the
yeah. When yeah,
towards the end of season
actually,
1, or yeah, towards
right.
the end of these 12 episodes, when they start making more regular visits to her house. I think there's a scene where she takes one of each of their hands and holds them. And there's a major contrast between Yoshiki's like silhouette, kind of, which just looks totally normal, and Hikaru's, which is like formless and constantly wavering and shimmering.
Yep, 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 yep.
Um, yeah, and she seems torn about like whether to help them and how, because
Right.
he's so much more human and normal than she was expecting. But at the same time, she also has that moment where Hikaru comes to her house, and like breaks down emotionally because he's just
Yep,
recently attacked Yoshiki for like the third time or something. And
yep,
she thinks
yep,
to
yep.
herself as he's got his head down in his arms on the table and he's crying, she thinks to herself, I could whatever is inside him now, I could probably like pull it out. I could take this
Hmm.
opportunity and pull it out.
And decided not to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
One of the most interesting things
it's a
about her character is something we don't understand yet, which is at the very end of episode 11, she gets a knock on her door, her apartment door, and the person
right.
standing there is the woman who Tanaka, hamster guy, was on the phone with in a very early episode. So she's someone who's involved with the company from the other world, who we
Right.
don't understand very much about.
Yeah.
So she's no mere housewife.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to her than meets the eye.
Yeah. Well, she the one who know about the organization because I think she kind of mentioned about that
Yeah.
or she think about that before. So we know that she's involved. I think the second season will learn more about the organization because the whole thing is just so weird that when Takeda come into to the old man. Oh, is that
The old man's name
uh
is Takeda, I think. His name is Tanaka.
sorry, Tanaka. Yep. He come to this house and he chop off Hikaru head,
Right.
and then he just done nothing. He just like kind of like enjoy the scenery and then try to cover this up as well. So he have his own agenda.
Yeah.
We don't know much about that either. So it just kind of like Hikaru and Yoshiki, I just feel that like we've been waiting for something to happen, which hasn't. So that's kind of interesting to see like what his agenda is and what the organization as a whole as well what they do.
Yep. I'm sure some of that is coming in season two. I found out about the second season just from like going on Reddit and
Right,
in the comments of one of those threads, somebody mentioned that the manga is still ongoing. So
right.
there must be enough material for at least another season, if not, I don't know, more.
If you speaking of like a scene or a sequence that's like stick out the most in the show so far, what would you pick? I have one.
Man, I have no I don't know. I would have to really. I have like pages and pages and pages on it. You go
Right.
first.
All right. I would say that this the image that Hikaru at first I think that happened in episode 2 allow his friend to enter
Oh yeah,
his body.
yeah. And they do that
Oh
again in
man,
episode five, I
actually,
think.
yeah, that actually first were very freaky, and second thing it actually hints about uh their homosexual attraction to each other as well. I
Right.
think this is a really good way to kind of like represent their queer relationship.
Yeah,
You
Hikaru
know, you
even
want to
asks
do
him
it?
about it point blank at one point. He was like, "So, do you like me?" Or maybe he says, "Did you like me?" Like, "Did you like Hikaru?"
Yeah,
Because you wouldn't even
yeah,
look at
yeah,
me naked.
yeah, 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 yeah.
I can't remember exactly
Oof.
what episode that was.
And even like the way it implies as well, like you want to go inside me? I have let's go in this classroom. We have to do it quick because I have to go to the sport. I have to play soccer or something
Yeah,
afterward. Like oh that wow.
yeah. Well, yeah. It's. I mean, I guess it's reminiscent of the sorts of encounters that students have, in high school. I don't really like
Yep.
to think about that, uh, but teenagers do be doing stuff like that,
Yeah.
and they have they've got places where that they have to be because they don't get to set their own
Mm.
schedules, so they have to sneak in that sort of stuff as they can, and so much the more if you're living in a small town and you're gay or or bi or whatever. Um, the show kind of makes a stronger point about that in some of the earlier episodes, I think, because Hikaru kind of likes the town where he lives,
Mm.
but
Yeah.
Yoshiki feels trapped there and wants to leave. That
Mm.
kind of fades away as the show gets deeper into the tension and the trauma of Hikaru being like an eldritch monster and what that means for his relationship with Yoshiki just on a personal level. But
Mm.
there's like a larger condemnation of like small town gossip and I don't know, misunderstandings or prejudice, bias. Um,
Yeah.
isn't there in one of the early episodes? Isn't there? There's some discussion that Yoshiki's having with somebody, saying there was like the son who was set to inherit his family's business,
Mm-hmm.
and someone makes a remark like, "Oh, well, he went crazy," or something along those lines. He had to be hospitalized, or he whatever. Um, and Yoshiki says, "No, he was gay."
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Or no, it disease. Somebody says he had a disease or something like that. Yoshiki says
Right.
he wasn't diseased, he was gay. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. I guess, I mean, I didn't really think about it as I was watching the show, but thinking back on it, I guess I kind of miss that uh, was swept under the rug or like became a less prominent part of the show. When
Mm.
Yoshiki made the decision to accept Hikaru and treat him as his own being, I guess, and not force him to live as humans do. And he kind of
Mm.
made that his mission, which kicked off the whole research thing. His own like family issues and
Yeah.
his feeling of being stifled in this town that he wants to get out of kind of receded into the background.
Right.
Who
Yeah.
knows? Maybe that stuff will be revisited at some point. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and then we get the whole thing about, like the originals, I would say scenes of Hikaru's families, the Indo. So they call that the Indo scenes, where like originally they try to save one of the human by sacrifice all of these others, uh, people from the village, and then it just happened and happened again. Again, this is just what we've been told. It's not we're not sure if that the truth or not. And we have the original head of Hichi-san.
Right.
So all that
Yeah.
we don't really know for sure, right?
I as I was going back over some of the stuff that I've written for the blog about the summer Hikaru died, I was actually reminded of
Mm.
the fact that we actually saw Hichi-san's head in episode 2. Because I had taken a screen
Yep.
cap and
All right.
uploaded it to the site. It's Tanaka has it. Hamster guy has the head
Yep.
and
Yep. Yep. Yep.
shows it to the village elders or the council or whoever those guys
Yep.
are.
I remember that scene.
So
Yep.
as early as episode 2, he had taken the head from that little
Right.
shed where all the like wooden carvings of skulls are, because that's where it was
Yep.
kept,
Yep.
right?
Yep. 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 Yep.
Um,
So
yeah, so
so
he's gonna use it
whenever
for something or other.
yeah. So whenever the Indo's family go into do one of the ritual, we don't know what that ritual is. They bring the head along with them so that they not be attacked by uh
Impurities.
I think by impurities, or even like by the now Hikaru, because we don't
Nonuki-sama?
know yeah, we don't know what or who or what Hikaru entities is.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of interesting, and somehow this new the Hikaru, the old Hikaru mess up or didn't really go through with the ritual, so that he died, and that uh the new one just taking over the body.
Right.
So yeah, it still remaining mysteries in that.
Yeah, whenever the show gets close, or I don't know, whenever it broaches the topic of what exactly Hikaru is, it's very cagey about it. If someone asks
Hmm.
him, like, "What do you think you are?" or "What are you?" he says, "Oh, I'm not really sure.
I
I,
didn't
I
know.
don't really know." When
Right.
when someone else is asked about it, they're like, "Man, this is like nothing I've ever seen." So the show is just reserving
Yeah,
mysteries for
for sure
itself
you're
for the
not
future.
human.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the way that he sacrificed like half of his body to Yoshiki. What do you take on that?
Um, I don't know. I think that's meant to be like a gesture. We know that his so he doesn't understand. We hear so many times, "Well, I don't really understand the
Yeah,
value of a life," or "I don't really get what a soul is."
yep,
Um,
yep, 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 yep.
but we do know that his primary motivation as this like fusion of a human body and a monstrous consciousness is that he is strongly drawn to Yoshiki. He does on some level he does want to devour him because he thinks to himself that he has like a really beautiful soul. I think that's probably uh, the reason he believes that or thinks that is like um, his memories, like the residual love that Hikaru had for Yoshiki.
Hmm. Yep.
Um, I just completely lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
And yeah, I think I know where you're going with that. So the old Hikaru, say before he died, he actually made a wish that like someone tried to just be happy, I think, or someone tried to be with Yoshiki.
Yeah,
So that's why this new version of Hikaru kind of like take that message to his heart. It's like kind of like his mission as well to just be around Yoshiki and enjoy the time. So that's why the attraction that he got to Yoshiki. I think some of their classmates even say that this new Hikaru is even more clinging to Yoshiki than the old ones.
yeah. There was somewhere else I was going with my thought.
Oh
I
yeah.
think, but I don't remember. I don't remember.
Right.
Um, well, that's too bad. Uh, but I did have another thought that kind of interrupted my thought back then, which had to do with your
Yep. Yep.
question. Like, can you think of a particular scene, like
Right.
a shot or a visual moment? I can.
Yep.
I guess I'll refer to episode 5, which is the one with the wig
Hmm.
ghost.
Right.
That's the
Yep.
one where Yoshiki has to like he tries to go into the bathroom where Hikaru is
Mm.
trying to exorcise the ghost,
Yep.
and he like tries to pull him out of the tub, and the wig ghost we like go into Yoshiki's mind essentially, and there's weird
Mm.
like columns of brain matter kind of swirling around.
Yep.
Uh,
Yep.
I was I thought that was a really bold visual choice.
Yeah.
It definitely stuck with me.
Yeah. So freaky,
Yeah.
but
And
so
it
fitting to
looked a little
deserve.
bit. It was probably CG, but it looked a little bit like live action, like a practical effect. And
Right.
speaking of live action, there was also the use of live action
Yep.
footage on the train as the boys were headed to the ocean.
In episode 12.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which I kind of
that
liked.
was really interesting. Yeah, I kind of like as well. Well, I at first I think that maybe they just ran out the budget, but I think they just do that really beautifully.
Yeah, I don't know why it was so effective, or what the reasoning behind it was. I don't know. I guess
Hmm.
using a different sort of giving the show a different visual identity in that moment kind of signifies that the train ride is more than just um,
Mm,
a change in location. You know, it's also a change in
well,
the reality of their relationship because they're
if
what's that?
yeah, if they do that though, I think it must be more effective if they do that with the beach. You know, like the thing that they've been yearning for. Uh, then this is their first time to see the beach as well, especially in case of Hikaru's. So if that they make that into live action, I think that would be much more effective. This one is really cool, but it seemed a bit random to me.
Well, I mean, the taking a bus or a train or some mode of transportation is highly symbolic of things changing because the
Mm,
characters are not moving you know with their own feet. They're kind of being taken somewhere.
mm,
They're like crossing
mhm,
like a boundary.
mm. Yep. In-
I mean, Ava reference once again. It reminds me of the bus scenes in Evangelion, where
Yep.
Shinji is always
Yep.
talking to his like shadow self as we get the kind of the wide angle close ups on the little hand grips or whatever those things are called, the handles that are hanging down from above.
Yep. Yep. Oh, yep.
I just think there's in general, I think there's a major significance to um, scenes of characters taking transportation from one place to another.
Right. All right. I think the end of this episode actually is a cliffhanger because I think we actually see the old man uh approach
Yeah,
Yoshiki
Tanaka.
and Tanaka, yeah, approach Yoshiki and Hikaru before it yeah, because it the credit rolls.
Yes. And he even watched them as they were fighting in the water. He was like holding up his
Yep.
fingers in reverse letter L's to form, like the lens of
Yep.
a camera, or I
Yep.
guess the frame that a camera.
Even though he lied to begin with,
Even though what?
he actually technically blind, so he cannot see.
Well, he can see if he
But
has his glasses on.
right. Oh, right. Yep. 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 So yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, I guess they're just another like spiritual invention from his company or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And
Um,
I, I'm pretty sure that he can see the spirit as well, just not the human side or something along that line.
like you think that when he looks at Hikaru, he sees Nonuki-sama?
Yeah, I think he can. I think his vision just can see the underground, the underworld, the ghosts and all that,
Right.
and he cannot see the people unless he have the glass put
Ah,
on.
okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's my take though, so nothing concrete about him.
You know what? You know what I was reminded of when the boys were fighting at in the shallow water at the ocean.
Yeah.
Flowers of Evil.
Uh. Yeah. The yeah. Yeah. It kind of remind me of that. Just when you just mentioned me, it didn't occur to me or when I watch it, but yeah.
Yeah,
Ah.
I mean, obviously, Flowers of Evil was not the first um, beach fight scene. I think that's probably a trope that dates back quite a while because the idea of the sea, the ocean being like the place where all life on Earth comes from.
Yeah.
The idea that the sea is our mother, and so if people are fighting there, they're kind of like it's kind of like a primitive sort of conflict. Um, I think there are probably lots of books, films, whatever, where there are fights like major fights, ideological probably conflicts between characters that spill over into violence at that setting. But Flowers of Evil is what it reminded me of.
Hmm.
Can you think of
All
any other
right.
famous like beach fights?
I do think of one, but it's a live action, not in anywhere.
What is it?
Uh, um, uh, Alice and oh my god, it's one of my favorite films right now. The name escaped me. Hannah and Alice.
Oh, The Case of Hannah and
So,
Alice.
yeah, but the live action one
I
where
watched
they
the live.
actually have
I
like
watched the live action one. I forget pretty much everything
right.
about it,
So
but so I don't. I
yeah, they
remember there being like a gigantic balloon outside of their school
yep.
building or something towards the end.
All right, it's it's it. All right, I know what you're talking about. It's Astro Boy balloons.
Okay, that sounds
That's
right.
during yeah that during one the festivals where they have that. But the scene that I was talking about is when you know like the two of them fall in love with the same boys. They go on a date, so they go to the beach, and that's the scenes where you know like so Hannah always having affection with this boy, and you know like kind of saying that this boy is they were together because he just hit his head, and he just kind of like don't remember stuff. So at that scene in particular, they try to find a cat, a you know just a normal cat, and just say that whoever can find that cat can be his girlfriend. So that was from Alice, so that they was having like a big fight. That's the only fight that they do in the movies
And it happens at a beach.
that happened at the beach.
But
So
what
yeah,
were
it
they
just
in the
reminded me of
water
that.
and splashing around in the water?
No, no,
Oh,
it
it doesn't
just
count.
there was yeah. All right.
There's
Yeah,
got to be
no,
like some they've got to be like
they are
pushing each other under the water and like putting their hands around each other's necks and stuff.
yeah, no, they live action, so they don't want to get wet.
Ah,
So that's not happening.
yeah, that's true, dude. Imagine the scenes where characters get wet in that are shot in live action have to be so annoying because in order to reset it and get a
Right.
second take, you've got to dry them off completely again. If the shot
That's
involves
correct.
like
So
transitioning them from being dry to being wet.
yeah, yeah. So it had to be only one tab.
Yeah.
You can just have like one go at it. Just do it.
Well, it depends on the kind of director you've got, whether it's somebody who wants, 30 takes or is okay with one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. David
Yeah, I
Fincher,
was
I heard
just
that
thinking
he
of David
always do.
Fincher.
Oh my god, I cannot imagine you know like working with him, just you know doing the same thing over again
Yeah.
for 90 times. Oh god.
Uh, well, hopefully,
All
his
right.
he's a big name director, so his films probably make a decent amount of money. Hopefully, his actors are appropriately compensated and his crew.
Yeah, and he was actually pretty famous as a music video directors
Yeah, I read that
before
that's
he
where he got his
branched out
start.
to yeah. It's just so interesting. But in any case, you have any closing line, finishing thought on Hikaru or any point you want to make before we move on to the new Panty and Stocking?
I just wish I remembered a lot of the events of the earlier part of the season better.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I enjoy. I don't really like horror in general, but I did enjoy
Right.
this show, not just for the central relationship, but also for some of the horror elements, like the ghost with the gigantic neck that they encounter in the forest that kind of tick tocks back and forth
Yep.
like a grandfather clock.
Yep.
Well, I thought was very
Yep.
cool
Yep. Yep.
looking. The
Yep.
sound design was awesome. The wig
Cool.
ghost was cool with the
Yep.
the weird scene where it kind of delves into Yoshiki's brain that I mentioned earlier,
Right.
and also the ghost that attacks them at the family restaurant after they've spent the day at the library,
Yep.
where
It turned
Korebayashi
out it
saves them.
yeah it turned out that it's from Tanaka, right? That's what in particular is the one that he created.
I don't that he create. I mean, we see him with that ghost later on, right? And he
Right.
like gains that ghost's memories somehow, doesn't he? He
Right.
like lets it pass
Yep.
through him, and he takes memories from it. I don't know that he created it. What makes you think that?
because the scene before that he tried to make to make a scout, so that he actually tried to you know interest himself and then sacrifice his blood in order to make something to for them to scout Hikaru's.
Huh.
And I would say that that was that that thing.
Okay. I
But
have a I don't
I'm
really
not
remember
entirely
that,
sure.
but when you said when he uses his blood, I have a vague memory of him doing some sort
Yeah,
of ritual with his own blood.
yeah. So his blood and one of these
Oh, didn't
object.
he get one of
I'm not.
Yoshiki's hairs or something when they
Mm,
talked and when they had that like that weird moment where they laugh while looking at the hamster? Didn't he get some of his
yeah,
hair? Did I imagine that?
maybe. Maybe. I just remember it's one of the object. I'm not sure that it was the hair or something,
Okay.
but
What
there
object
must
was
be
it?
something that, yeah, clock or something, because it make that sound like a clock, right?
Huh? I'm lost.
Re-
No,
re-
the clock ghost was very early on. That was the one
yeah,
that
this one is like different kind of clock though. It's not
oh,
like
you
the
think that this new ghost that attacked them at the family restaurant was also
yeah, because I remember that that ghost have like a very distinct sound. That reminiscent either a clock or something that a bell.
a bell? Hmm. Okay.
I think that was a bell. But yeah, I'm sure that we learn more about that in the second season, where we know who Tanaka is and what the organization does. So
If we
always
learn in season 2.
true, true that.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right,
so I enjoyed it. I don't think it was perfect,
yeah,
but it was good.
mm, yeah. Alrighty, shall we go to new Panty Stocking?
Let's do it.
All right. Oh my God, this shows a lot, a lot happening in these episodes. I kind of like the format. I kind of like the way that it's split into two, mostly three skit per episodes, and it's mostly a spoof for like even the name, or like the idea is actually just a satire of like the well-known films or series that like we know before.
Yeah. And often the title cards that were used to introduce each mini episode were,
I love that as
they were
well.
parodies of like movie posters or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember Panty and Stocking I watched so long ago, at least a decade. Probably very close to when it
Right.
actually came out. So,
Yeah.
I didn't really remember that it was so parody heavy, but apparently it was and is.
It is. Yeah, it was.
Well, there you
I
go.
remember this thing. I remember distinctly though one of the episode from the old season about like a music video. So they just like kind of making a proper music video, and actually it's really entertaining.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't remember that or anything else about it really.
Aniki. Aniki is the name of the song.
Aniki.
Aniki, yeah.
Okay. Well, there was another musical episode in this season. I think it was episode 7 off the top of my head. Nope.
La La Land.
Yes, the La La Land one. That was actually episode 8 here looking at it.
All
Um,
right.
and I really enjoyed that one, not just for the La La Land parody aspects, but just because that entire segment was off the rails. Like she gets the little
Yeah.
tongue ring, um,
Yeah.
and so whenever she swears, it cuts off her tongue, and of course it regrows because she's an angel. But
Yeah.
the fact that Garter starts to collect those little bits of her tongue and sells them to a sushi restaurant was just
It's
such a fun
it's
throwaway detail.
yeah.
It just made me laugh.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, I love that. I love this one. It feels very different, and in fact, many of the segments in this show are totally different from each other. I also remember the one that I think it's inspired by the Western cartoon where they change their design.
Yes, that's at the end of episode
And
4.
oh, love that as
You're
well.
talking about the one that's inspired by like the Fantastic Four, right?
Maybe, yeah.
Where
I'm not sure.
Stocking
Maybe like
turns
Fantastic
into the
Four,
Thing, or not the Thing. She turns
right?
into is it the Thing? Yeah, I guess.
Well, maybe.
You know, like the big rock guy from the Fantastic Four. And Knee
Yeah.
Socks turn. So, did you watch it with Japanese voices or English?
Japanese.
Okay, I did the English voices, but I
Oh,
assume that the subtitles also said crocodile. Knee Socks gets turned into a crocodile who can only say crocodile.
yeah.
Uh, everyone gets transformed into something weird. Um, and apparently there's talk in that episode about like dots, like people being transformed into different versions of themselves or alternate characters through dots. Apparently that's based on a
Right.
real plot line from a Jack Kirby comic. Jack Kirby being the creator of the Fantastic Four.
Oh, I see.
So that episode was full of references to the work of Jack Kirby, as well as you know, the kind of the clunky animation from like
Yeah.
American superhero cartoons from the
They,
'60s and stuff.
yeah, they barely move,
Yeah,
but I love it.
yeah,
I think it kind of remind me of Captain Planet and the Planeteers, but I don't watch that show. It just the visual remind me of that. But I think you are on the right track there.
Well, it could be that whatever, you know, like Western animation studio adapted Captain Planet also did the Fantastic Four adaptation.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, yeah, that was a very wild episode, and the you know the way that its plot kind of developed with the alternate version of Panty becoming like a, I don't know, kind of a galaxy time traveling crime fighter
yeah,
at the
yeah,
end,
yeah,
and
yeah,
leaving her present self on Earth, but then going off together with what's his face, Baywatcher, in order
yeah, yeah,
to
yeah.
like fight crime on a cosmic level was so silly. It was great.
Yeah, yeah, everything is silly. But I actually really enjoy the new characters that they add as well. So they add the two other angels, polyester, and I don't even know how to
Polyurethane.
say the other. All right, thank you.
Yep.
Uh, and that other girls, who is a geek girl,
With an alter
geek
ego,
boy,
gunsmith bitch.
geekers, gunsmith bitch. I love them.
Yeah, they're all
I
great.
think
And we
they
also
they
we also got two other new characters right at the end.
mm, all right.
Was that a
Tell me
post
about them.
credit scene and you missed it? Surely
Oh
you
God. All right.
remember the scene where Stocking is talking to Junior and Bastard, right?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
there
yeah.
you go. Those are the
Yeah.
two. If there's going to be a third season of Panty and Stocking in like 15 years or something, they'll probably be
Th-
they'll be in it.
they said this is just the first core. They're gonna be a second core.
No, they didn't.
So they said to be continued.
Yes, it said to be continued,
They
but I think that's probably a reference to the fact that the original Panty and Stocking also said to
yeah.
be continued,
Yep, 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 yep,
and
yep,
not
yep.
necessarily a
Yep.
promise that it would be. But, you know, maybe they will.
Who knows, right? Yep. Yep.
Dude, I got to tell you, you missed out by specifically with regards to the characters of polyester and polyurethane. You missed out
Right.
by listening to the Japanese audio.
Oh yeah.
Because in the English dub, all of the Zoomer slang they use is so funny.
Oh god.
They constantly say that stuff is cooked, and they refer to a
Oh
garter as unk. Um, and
Okay.
they sometimes
Yeah.
they just randomly address the quote unquote chat of like a live stream. They say, "What's up, chat?"
Right.
They just
I
use
see.
a bunch of Generation Z slang, and I
Uh,
assume that some of that was missing in Japanese.
yeah. Well, the Japanese version is more. Yeah, I think it's more by the book. It doesn't have really a lot of slang, but it's funny nevertheless. The way that I'm off duty. I'm off duty now, so I
Yes.
just
Yeah.
I love that.
Got to have work-life balance.
Yep. 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 Yep.
It's interesting to me, like, why, from the perspective of a Japanese person, that attitude might
Mm,
seem like a very Gen Z thing,
mm,
because
mm.
uh, the generations of Japanese people that were trying to recover from the devastation of World War II, they were like, work, 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 work.
Yep.
And so a younger person demanding that they have an equal work-life balance might be seen as something that only young people would dare to ask for.
Yeah. Oh,
That is pretty
that's
funny. Like whenever they would be in the middle of a gigantic like climactic fight against a ghost,
yeah.
and then the like their alarm would go off or their phone would go off, they'd be like, "Well, we're off the clock. We'll see you later."
Yeah. Oh, it just reminded me that even before that, I think back in the first few episodes, there is a reference to the Yu-Gi-Oh trading card.
Yes, episode 2.
Uh, the white eyes. What?
Blue
Blue
Eyes White
eyes,
Uncle.
white. Oh my goodness. Yep.
Yeah,
Oh
it's a
god.
parody of both Magic the Gathering and Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
definitely a Magic parody as well because there's a card called Black Dildotis, which is
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
reference to
Yeah.
the Black Lotus card in MTG.
Right. 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 This I think this one is got banned, right? The Black Lotus in LGD. It's just so powerful that it's got banned. That's
Yeah,
what I
it's Black
remember.
Lotus is like free mana, essentially.
Right.
It lets you accelerate mana too effectively. So it's banned in pretty much every format, as far as I know.
Right. Mm. So
Um,
interesting.
it's like when you think of all the most when you if you're somebody who plays a lot of trading card games, Black Lotus is like the first thing that comes to mind when you think of an overpowered card.
Right. Right. Oof.
In Pokemon, the
It is.
equivalent would probably be um, I don't know, like Professor Oak, maybe, which lets you discard your hand and draw 7 cards.
Really?
Yeah, that sort of
Wow.
effect is unheard of in a game like Magic, but Pokemon has a lot of card draw.
Professor Oak
Professor Oak, yeah.
Pokemon. Yeah.
He's the main
I love it.
professor character. Like if you ever played the first generation of games.
Yeah. Just get your hand, then draw 7 cards. It's a cheat.
Yeah. And it doesn't like in Magic, everything costs mana, but in Pokemon it doesn't cost anything to play a trainer card. You can just play it at any time and draw 7
Oh.
cards.
Oh. Yep.
But of course you can't parody Pokemon in a show like this because Nintendo will sue your ass. They'll
Yeah.
be on you
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
fast your head will spin. But they did get
Well.
the Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh parodies in there. And the
Yeah.
ghost in that segment was what was the ghost? Like what negative feelings was it born from? I think it was
Oh my god.
what was it?
it's it's a random.
Oh, it
Yeah.
was
Well.
it was like the feelings of all of the like terrible cards that nobody cared about, right?
Oh right.
Like
Right.
all the
Right. Right. Right.
trash
Yeah.
filler cards.
Yeah.
It was all of their souls or
Because
whatever that created that ghost.
he's he's the incarnation of the plague doodle. So
Is
he
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 the
got loose by that.
No, isn't he? He's
Yeah.
not the
Because
incarnation of the Black Dildotis, right? He's the incarnation of the other terrible uncle card.
oh right. Sorry. Sorry.
I
Yep.
can't
Yep.
remember
Yep.
the
Yep.
name of it, of the really awful one.
Yep. Yeah. Dodo uncle or something.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because all the cards in that made up game were uncle themed. It was just very, very goofy.
Yeah. Oh my
I'll tell
goodness.
you my least favorite of all of the
All right.
skits, the Fast and the Furious
Yeah.
one.
Oh, I can feel that. I can. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's too obvious, right?
Well, I haven't seen Fast and the Furious, so I had no connection to it. But that wasn't the only
Right.
problem. The problem was that the it was like completely washed out in gray, and there were
Hmm.
a whole bunch of assets that were like really low resolution on purpose. So
Right.
when they took like a close view of a character, they looked kind of pixelated sometimes. It was just
Mm.
the 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 visual style that they went for was purposely like low fidelity, I guess. But I didn't really see the point of that. I just didn't like it
Yeah.
much. Do you have a least favorite?
Uh, I think that's might be some of the earliest one, but if I have the least favorite, it would be the most forgettable one, which is now I don't remember them. So I will tell you the one that I think is so right, not really enjoy that. Is the sushi chef.
Excuse me. The sushi chef. I do remember one about the sushi chef. What episode was that?
Uh,
Was it episode
it's in the
5?
mid five. I think that was the five.
Because I'm looking at my notes here. For episode 5, I have a note. Like I did a little bullet point for every single segment. And looking at my
Right.
notes for episode 5, I just have one bullet point for the first segment, and it just says first segment was forgettable and nothing
Right.
else.
So it was about the sushi chef who tried to grow everything into the sushi, even the building.
Right.
It make
There's like a tornado or
it big.
something.
Yep. And then there is like one of these demon girls who tried to do her business, and then she got distracted by that. So that she actually uh like gain superpower because of that to kill the sushi, so that she can do her business.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that there was a sushi episode, but I didn't like that one very much either. But
Right.
speaking of business,
I
oh, go on.
Yeah. No, 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 no. You go on.
I just when you said business, I remembered a connection to
Yep.
one of the other segments from episode 4, I think. We were talking about the Fantastic Four parody earlier.
Yep. Yep.
In
Yep.
in the first segment of episode 4, there was like President Business. The
Oh.
president who was going to make it so you had to like have a license to have sex or something.
Yeah. Yep.
And
Yep. 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 Yep.
it turns out that he actually the way that he presented himself as like a really chaste, clean candidate was just a front, and that he was just all about business. And when he was justifying all the falsehoods that he used
Yeah.
to get
Businessman.
elected, he would say business. That's all part of the business.
Yeah.
At least that's how he said it in English. Uh, so that was when you said business. That just
Yeah.
reminded me of that. That was what I think. Episode 4 might be my favorite overall. Because in addition
Right.
to that segment and the Fantastic Four segment, the middle one was where uh, Panty adopts the ghost cat,
Yep.
and
Yep.
everyone at
Yep.
the church where they live falls in love with it.
Yep. It including herself.
Yes, eventually. Yeah. And rather than her having to exorcise it with her spirit gun, her panty gun, I guess, um, its soul is like at peace as a result of um, her taking care of it.
Um. Do you have a favorite?
Well, episode 4 would be my favorite overall. As for like an individual section, I did like the La La Land one a lot.
Yep.
I don't know. I think most of the ones that I really liked, I've probably already mentioned. What about you?
Right. I think the one that also stick with me is the serial killers one.
The
The one
horror
who tried
parody?
the horror parodies. Big. they have like some very interesting kill over there as well.
Yeah, the dude, the
So
one where somebody was trapped in a washing machine full of razor blades was so
yeah,
disturbing.
right,
Ugh.
right, and it's actually the actual kill on that one, right? Because it's not the yeah, from that segment, it's like that girl is actually dead.
Yeah, I guess so.
So
I mean, at first I thought that was Panty, but since the plot of the episode involved a whole bunch of Panty lookalikes, since
yeah,
the killer was after blonde girls, since they're always the first to die.
that's so interesting. And the reveal that the killer is actually the original Scream Queen. So
Right. Kind of makes
very
sense as like
very
a meta
kind of
parody
makes sense.
of horror films.
Yeah.
Somebody who had
Oh,
participated in a lot of horror films becoming the killer in a real life horror movie.
yeah. And and they have the parody in for another show as well. So, the cop,
The what?
the the cop, the one who the infernal cop.
Oh yes. Yeah.
I like the episode as well.
What was the Inferno Cop episode? Oh, looks like number 8.
All right.
Episode 8 was the
The
Inferno Cop episode. That was
the
before the La
internet.
La Land stuff at the end.
Yeah. So that yes, so that's what the two segments in a row where he had to fight the internet.
Right. Yeah, and there was
Love
the
that.
Silence of the
And
Lambs reference where they go and see the internet in the second half, and it's got the little mask on.
right. Yep, yep. And yeah, I th- uh I like the fact that whenever they kills the ghost, we see the segment where like they are in the models,
Right.
live action model and get destroyed. I think some of them is CG. It just look great anyway.
Yeah, that is a lot of fun. That's definitely a tradition they carried over from the first season. I do remember that.
Yeah, yeah,
So there were a couple references in episode 8, even beyond just the Silence of the Lambs shout out, that I wanted
yeah.
to bring up because this is like the craziest coincidence I've experienced watching anime in 2025.
Mm-hmm.
There was a very brief reference to a late 90s J drama called Beach Boys.
Beach
In
Boy. All
Yeah,
right.
so there's a J drama called Beach Boys that's like very
Mm-hmm.
popular even now in Japan, about like there's like a pair of male characters. There's one who's like a former salaryman who was like working at a prestigious company, and there's one who's like a slacker who's always taking part-time jobs. So they're kind of like an odd couple. They're two very different people, and they both end up living at like a bed and breakfast by the ocean and working there as like the live-in employees. And in this
Yep.
episode, in this Inferno Cop uh, episode of Panty and Stocking, there is an extremely brief reference to Beach Boys, where Panty and Stocking and not Inferno Cop, but what is his name? The new character, Impact
Uh,
Cop. He's named Impact Cop.
right.
Impact Cop and Penny and Stocking go to a seaside bed and breakfast, and there's like a very brief montage of them being employees there and like having fun by the ocean and stuff. And then the person who runs the bed and breakfast ends up dying.
Yeah.
Do you remember this at all?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Okay. So I have seen almost all of Beach Boys, the actual J drama. I watched it, I don't know, a couple months ago. But I dropped it at a certain point before the old guy in that show dies. So Panty and Stocking spoiled me on a 90s J drama. It's such a weird coincidence. Um, but there you go.
Wow. But like, yeah, I can understand why, like this show would take that show as a reference, as a parodies,
Well, they
because
just
it
parody
it,
anything
it
they can get
must.
their hands on, I think.
Yeah, true. They will parody anything that popular, and I'm pretty sure that that show is also very popular in Japan.
Yeah, I mean that's how I found out about it. I don't remember why, but like a couple months ago I was looking for a J drama to watch. I think I was had probably just watched some really really bad anime and I didn't want to look at cartoons anymore.
Yeah.
Uh so and I found Beach Boys. And it's not terrible, you know.
Right.
It's not terrible. Like if you watch the first few episodes just as like a limited series before it starts to get repetitive and drag its feet, it's actually okay.
Mm, alrighty.
So that happened. Um,
Right.
what did you think of the finale when it tries to tell like a bigger
I
story?
I like it. I like it. I like the fact that that it become more coherent at the end, like in the first episodes where they have like one long episode just to say something that that it's been alluded to as well. Since the beginning of the two uncles, the polyester and polyurethane, and we can see panty and stocking parents, which is nice, and I like the design. So weird.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
the guy was naked because it's a reference to what's that famous painting of like God reaching out his hand towards Adam.
right.
Do you know what I'm talking
No, I
about?
don't. No.
And Adam is
Yeah.
naked, and you
Right.
can see his his dong. I think that's probably
Yeah.
why God's
Mm,
pecker was also visible. Uh, Panty and
right.
Stocking's dad.
Yeah.
That's my guess. And the mom wearing that
And
weird helmet was of course that's a reference to something else, but I didn't know what that was.
yeah, maybe Venus or something.
It could
I
be
don't know.
like a Greek god or a
In
Roman god.
Yeah. In any case, I love the hands of God as well. Like you see the hands reach out before
Right.
from the ankles, and then we see that how it actually functions. So some of the show are not really throwaways because they get back to that later on, but
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah,
And then
I do enjoy
everyone
when
just
Trigger like
yeah,
incorporates little static live action assets
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
as a little joke.
And this is a good way to just pull every character together as well before the big send off. So I kind of really enjoy the last episodes. How about you?
I mean, I have some minor criticisms of it. They don't really amount to much in the end. I guess if I were
Yeah,
to mention one of them, it would be they, at the so there's part 1, 2, and 3 of the Heaven Wars series. Of course,
yeah,
it's meant to parody Star Wars. And at the end of
yeah,
episode 11, we get part 1, which is where all the characters go to heaven. Panty and Stocking are
right.
summoned there, and they try to sneak everybody else in.
Yeah.
I don't.
Except for
Well, yeah, Brief
Geek
doesn't
Boy.
make it because Panty's like, he's just a geek. Not really sure what the deal was with her change of heart between her like saying you're not coming with us into heaven, and then one episode later on
Yeah.
the Ferris wheel, her being like, "Yeah, I also like you, Brief." That was kind of strange. But the larger point I wanted to make, the larger criticism I guess I have of the Heaven Wars episodes, that whole little story arc, is I don't know if it was necessary for all the other characters to accompany Panty and Stocking to heaven.
Right.
Because if you think about
Yeah.
it, like
Yeah.
not Brief, Stocking and knee socks, or Scanty
Yeah.
and knee socks and garter belt all
Yeah.
get encased in those little, blocks of
Yeah.
ice or whatever. I think it's
Yeah.
supposed to be carbonite in reference to Star Wars when Han Solo gets trapped in carbonite.
Right.
But also there were scenes of of all the other gods in the Council of Gods getting trapped in carbonite. That was a much clearer analog. So I don't know what the little blue boxes that Scanty knee socks and Garter got trapped in were supposed to be exactly. Anyway,
Hmm.
they get trapped in those little cases and then they fall back down to Earth or hell.
Hell. Yeah.
And so Garter takes that drug from Gunsmith Bitch, finds himself at the gates of hell as well, and then from there he reunites with the Demon Sisters, and they just go straight back up to heaven, Like, was it necessary for them to have been there in the first place to get kicked out
Right.
and then just to make their way straight back?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I can see that.
I don't know. But I
Yeah.
mean, this show is just completely insane. So I don't know if it
Right.
really matters that the script isn't completely tight.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I think it just go along at it goes. So it just make up along the way. Oh, there was a character's name Tom Cruise
Yes.
Junior as well. So
Yeah, the
I
Indiana Jones one, right?
yeah,
Oh no.
I kind of I kind of like that episode as well. So that in episode 11, the
Yeah.
plush.
Right. What was that? What was the flush a reference to?
Oh, I have no idea. Maybe the it had to be something to the time travel with Tom Cruise in it.
Well, there were definitely references to Minority Report, like
Oh,
pre-crime.
the Flash, the plus, the Flash. I don't know why.
What did that episode have to do with the Flash?
Oh, he can travel time. But
Is that the
what?
plot of the Flash? Is that he runs so fast that he goes back in
Uh,
time?
I no, I didn't watch the Flash too much, so I cannot tell on that. But well, mm,
I only
I
really
just
remember Minority Report references,
right, yeah, yeah, that as
but
well.
maybe it is the Flash. I mean, it certainly sounds like it. The Flash.
Right, the Flash. Oh God.
But yeah, Tom Cruise is. I mean, he's just such a funny person to parody because he's done so much ridiculous stuff. And as a
Right,
movie star, he's also like larger than life. So
yeah.
that was pretty. It was pretty funny when Tom Cruise showed up. What
So
did
you
you?
know,
So have you seen? I have not seen Being John Malkovich. Did you get anything out of the Being John Malkovich segment from
uh,
episode 11?
the being Joe Markovit, the movie itself actually much more insane than this segment. I can see the reference, and I got like a whole lot of like chico along the way. But
Okay,
watch the movie. It really insane.
interesting. I've
Right.
heard of the
Uh,
title, of course, but yeah, I've never seen it.
y- yeah.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I'll have
it's
to check it out.
yeah. So it Joe Markovit, right? So it's
Yes.
him playing himself. And the idea is that like a bunch of people who actually just go to one of the portals, random portal in the building, and go straight into his soul, so they can kind of like manipulate him, doing what he do. Like just to make him say what they want to say and do what he want to do. They want to do, and so just basically manipulate the real Joe Markovit,
That is weird.
and that is weird. And then to the point where like they try to so this guy have a wife who is Cameron Diaz of all people, and they try to like get him have sex with her, so that they can have like double uh double sex or something. It just the whole thing is just so weird. It just fit right into Panty and Stocking here.
Okay.
So yeah, give that a try
I
sometime
guess
if
I
you like.
will at some point.
All right. So as a whole, stocking and the news party and stocking here. I'm afraid, at first that like its stay out is welcome, because like no segment can be, a hit or miss, and like if they try to repeat something, that would be the worst. Thankfully though, for the 12 episode and like 30 something segment, it rarely stay out of the web of its welcome. I still found something new along the way, and like I would say that most of the time my it kept my attention throughout. So I think the episode is a success. What do
Yeah,
you
I mean
think?
they're also different. Um,
Yep.
the sometimes when you get tired of a show or whatever, it's because it feels too familiar. But with
Yeah,
Panty and Stocking, every 8 to 12 minutes, you're getting a complete switch up. I mean, they might not even speak any recognizable language in the next segment that you watch. If you're doing the Conan the Barbarian parody,
yeah,
I think that's what
yeah,
that
yeah.
was supposed to be. Um, when you watch something like that, you're just scratching your head, wondering what the hell's happening. You know,
True.
so you don't really have time to get bored because you're holding on for dear life.
Yeah. And I really enjoy the fact that it's split into like smaller segments as well. Like the first episode was really good, but because it's too long, sometimes it just kind of drop a bit. So like split it into like three small segments, like 5 minutes each. I think would do the trick.
Well, I mean, the show was originally conceived as a parody of the Powerpuff Girls, I think.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And that being a Cartoon Network show, I'm willing to bet that Powerpuff Girls was also split into like 2 or 3 stories per episode.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
I think we did
I guess they just kept that format and then just
right.
turned up the crudeness to 11.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Yeah. What do you feel as a show in general
I was good. I liked it a
compared
lot.
to the first
There
season?
were what's that?
Is there any comparison to the first season?
I like I said, I hardly remember the first season at all.
Yeah.
Um, I do know that the English voice actors were different for season 2,
Hmm.
but I thought they did a nice job. Um, and I mean, I enjoyed there were some segments, some parodies, and some little mini stories that I didn't get anything out of, but
Hmm.
I would say there were more hits than misses, and this just so energetic, so over the top, so I don't know, irreverent and disgusting that
Hmm.
you can't help but be entertained.
Yep. Yep. I agree. There's just a lot of stupid things going on, but yeah, I never get bored.
Okay, well, I mean, pretty good, pretty good season.
Yeah.
Summer, I would say, on the whole. I mean, if we can put together a group of 3 shows like this from the top of the pile.
Yeah. All right. I think that question I asked you briefly before we start the podcast. But is there any other shows that you watch in this season, and is there any show that you plan to finish before the end of the year?
Well, I can answer that. You're going to need to give me a little bit of time to type here because it's a bit hard for me to type with my
Yeah.
hand like this, but I can do it. It's just clunky. I have to like move the
Uh,
mouse with my hand resting on top of the mouse and then change the angle of my arm and click the button.
right.
Um, as for shows that I have seen from like already from this season, I've seen about half of My Melody and Kuromi,
Hmm.
stop motion with Sanrio characters. I've seen Leviathan. I've seen karaoke iko, and Muchu sa kimi ni, or Captivated by You.
Hmm.
As for shows that I want to watch, I know you are a big fan of Nichijou, so City the Animation. I'm sure you'll be
Yeah.
catching up with before
Yeah.
the end of the year.
Yeah.
And I have got my little challenge bracket here.
Hmm.
So from this season, I plan to give another try to With You in the Rain, City the Animation,
Yeah.
Clevates, Dandadan Season 2, Gachiakuta, um, whatever what's the English title of Kaoru Hana wa Rintosaku?
Yeah. The fragrant flower blooms with dignity.
Yes, that one. Uh, Ruri no Hoseki, the second core of Shin Samurai Den Yaiba, and Silent Witch.
Wow.
Gonna give all
It's a
those
lot.
gonna give all those a try. I won't finish all of them. I might not finish any of them, but
Yeah. All right. let me have a look. I think one other show that I kind of watch in this season is the second season of Sakamoto Days.
Ah, yeah, I'm
You
not
just
sure I'm
going
going
to
to
watch?
continue with
Yeah.
Sakamoto Days. But I mean, maybe. I thought the first
Yeah.
season was it was better than I expected. I'll say that.
All right. Um, I gonna try to watch. I gonna finish Rather Than Two, Leviathan, and City the animation that for sure, and the Fragrant Flower Blooms Dignity. And if I have time, I can do With You in the Rain and Secret of the Silent Witch. So also a lot on the
Yeah.
backlog.
I suppose it is a backlog, but pretty soon it's going to be a front log or a present
Yeah.
log.
God.
2026 is coming up.
Yep. Yep. So the end of the season is coming soon as well. The end of the year is coming soon. So we better get that done before that.
Yeah, before any of that though, before we get to 2026, we're going to
Yeah.
have to do first impressions of the upcoming fall season.
Yeah.
So you'll hear from us again in 3 weeks once we've
Yeah.
selected the 10 shows that we want to talk about.
Yeah.
Um, I did a season preview for Starcrossed. I wrote it up,
Hmm.
and honestly, it's looking a little thin, in my
Right.
opinion. Like spring and summer, I think we had a nice, kind of breadth of shows, lots of variety. Looking a little more thin this fall, but
Hmm.
we'll see what Mario and I come up with.
Yeah. We still have a lot of sequels up that popular anime pop up for next season. So we got One Punch Man, we got the final season of My Hero Academia, and the new season of Spy and Family, for example. So
Yeah, as
you
well
know,
as season 2 of Dora Hedoro, which still has not been announced, even though they said 2025. I'm so mad.
well, maybe they come out as ONA. I really hope that that's the kind of.
Well, I mean, it was on Netflix originally, so I think it is. I don't know if it's technically an ONA, um,
Or,
but I don't know. I
yeah,
just hope that it comes out eventually and it doesn't,
yeah,
get scrapped or whatever.
yeah. And also they have the new season of Star Wars business as well.
Yes, that was on the season preview. One of my more
Yeah.
anticipated thingamajigs because my all-time favorite animator is doing a segment on Star
Hmm.
Wars Visions.
Wow. Okay. So you will hear from us and more in the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, we'll see you then.
Right. Bye for now, guys.
Bye bye.